the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
From Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. Merry Christmas. Hope you're getting all your shopping done. Hopefully you're listening to us on the radio in your car as you're driving from Starbucks to, your little shopping, your favorite shopping places. You guys, today the show is called Homes for the Holidays. And, it is the most wonderful time of the year, okay? Especially if you have a home to live in, okay? And you guys probably have a big list of wants for Christmas. I know I do. But if you're living in a home, whether you rent or whether you own, do you realize that's already a gift? Do you realize how special that is? And I want to introduce you to someone that I've known actually for several years now. And he is part of an organization that I think is so vital to our community. It was actually this organization was founded in 1995 as a homeless ministry, providing meals and Bible study in a modest, 600 square foot facility. The source has evolved significantly over the past 28 years. Today, their expansive 5,000 square foot facility sits right there at Commerce Avenue, and it is open every day of the week. Servicing people right here in our community. They have so many programs, and we are going to first talk about one of their dignity programs that I am so passionate about, that is so fitting for the holidays right now, Homes for the Holidays. Please welcome our guest, Executive Director of The Source, Tony Zorba.
Hey guys. Thanks for having me.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So tell me, Tony, when I said if you live in a home, whether you rent, whether you have purchased,
yep.
Tell me your thoughts on that. Is that anything special for Christmas?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, like you said, this is the most special time of the year that we're all celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And we know that him and his parents, they tried to go to the room of the inn,
yep.
And we know that story, and they were denied a place to be indoors. So they ventured off into a stable, and that's where the Son of Man was conceived. He was born in a manger outdoors in a tent, right? And for years at The Source, we experienced that. We were the guy, our staff was that guy that would pick up the phone and say, we would say, I'm sorry, there's no room for you here. There's no room for you here. And we would do it day in and day out, which then made us create the Dignity Bus, right? And the Dignity Bus, the first Dignity Bus was able to house 20 individuals. And then we launched a second Dignity Bus that houses 16 individuals. And we wanted to put a picture of Christ on the side of it to honor that commitment of what he went through and what our members are going through. But also in Scripture, it says in Genesis 2:15 that God created man and he settled him in a garden so that he can cultivate and care. So the way that we were doing things a little bit backwards. We wanted people to cultivate and care, but we weren't settling anybody.
Sure.
So having a place to have safety and have four walls and have a bathroom and a kitchen, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, it's safe for individuals.
Sure.
And we have so many people that just land on our doorsteps for the first time because rents are skyrocketing in our community. People that are living on Social Security or disability can't afford things anymore.
Yeah.
We have so many seniors over the age of 70 that have nowhere to go because their rents have increased over $400 to $500 a month. and they're sleeping on our Dignity bus.
You know, Tony, I got pretty emotional driving to the studio today because Cindy and I, every time we drive to the studio, you know, we're in separate cars, but we chat, and we both have been heartbroken because there's one particular woman that we used to see every time out on a little stool, and she'd wave to people going by. Well, one day we didn't see her, and the next day, you know it, the house has been condemned. She was evicted.
Yep.
And now we see her roaming the streets. You know, now we did stop and we did tell her about you, and she does know about the source.
Yep.
But it just resonated coming to the studio today to talk about homes for the holidays.
Yeah.
And she was exactly what you're just talking about, that, you know, she lost her home. And, you know, here she is, and she's not young. Cindy, I know her mic is off, but I think she's well into her 70s. Is that, can you shake your head or?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I saw her the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's still out, you know, out there. She's,
But so she is kind of that profile that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of make it real simplified. You came on board to the Source.
Yeah.
It was originally pretty much a meal situation for the homeless.
Yep.
You have advanced that
A little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little
And
bit.
we'll talk more about some of those things that you brought on board. But since we're talking about homes for the holidays, you went from feeding them to going, oh, wait a minute, you know, let's give them a safe and warm and comfortable or cool place to sleep on the Dignity bus.
Yeah.
Which has, by the way, you're up to 4 buses, I believe, that you have created.
Yeah, we've created 2 here. We have one in Rhode Island. We have one in Chicago. And then we went yesterday to Orlando to the some of the individuals that we're purchasing these buses from, and our hopes are to pick up a 5th.
Wow.
And we're going to launch a 3rd one here in Indian River County because we have a wait list every single night for these beds.
Well, and that's what I was going to, go to next.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, somebody might say, well, that's only 20 beds, or that's still 20 more than we had before.
Exactly.
And it's working.
Yep.
It's working. They do have to pay, by the way.
Yep.
We did a whole story on this, but if you didn't hear the story, I think it's $2.
Yep. $2
so
a night.
that creates dignity. They are paying for the service.
Yep.
But then we were talking before we went on air that, and I go home to Virginia, so I know when it gets cold there, they call it warming centers for the homeless, where they can go to schools or churches, and they open it up, they have beds out, and they can sleep at night. Well, you were just telling me, and I love this, that, you had gone to a meeting where they're talking about, opening beds up for those cold nights, because it does get cold here in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, it can dip below 40. That's very uncomfortable.
Even 50 is freezing.
Yeah, it's for us.
Yes,
Yes,
freezing.
exactly.
It's freezing outside.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep.
It really is. And yes, we're wimps, you guys.
Yep.
I will admit it. But you were saying how you started this bus program so that people would have this comfort year round, not just 1 month or 2 months of cold weather, which I love. So, okay, so you've established that, which is amazing, but you took it a step further.
Yeah. So when we started the whole process 8 years ago, I did my first cold night shelter at the Source, and I started as the development director, transitioned into the executive director. But I remember that first night, like it was yesterday. The director asked me to stay, and I said, "You're crazy. I'm not staying overnight with. This is not what I do, right? I'm a fundraiser. It's not what I do." But I'm so blessed that I was able to do that. I'm
God
truly,
works in mysterious ways.
I'm telling you, it was crazy. So I go in and I see these thin little mats from the Red Cross that people were sleeping on the floor on these tiny thin little mats. And we gave them mats and blankets, and there was maybe 70 people all over the place, scattered everywhere. And I said, this is crazy. So the next year I came in and I was able to get cots and put them off the floor. So then we went from cots to beds on a bus. And then we went from beds on a bus to a village in Sebastian, where we just purchased this 18-unit vacation resort up in Sebastian. So we're in the process of cleaning that up and bringing that back to life.
Wow.
So we literally started from the floor. We started from the bottom.
Started literally from the
bottom,
floor.
From the floor.
Wow. So just real quickly, because you've got so many programs, but this Dignity Village that you call, I mean, it is, it's a former resort. You're kind of keeping it as that resort, if you will.
Yep.
But you are catering to your members.
Well, we're catering to anybody.
Okay.
So it's anybody. So we have 18 units. We have a couple efficiencies. We have a couple one-bedroom units. We have a couple two-bedroom units. But it's just for anybody. So we do daily, weekly, monthly stays. And literally, we have hundreds of people calling us, emailing us, and stopping by the property because there's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go.
There's people that work in the food service industry in Sebastian to all the way down in Fort Pierce that people are just looking for a place because there's nowhere for them to go.
Wow. And if I could share, I think you had gone to a similar situation in Houston just to kind of get, or was it
Austin?
Austin, excuse me.
Yeah.
And you said it was huge, but how inspiring to see this kind of, and I would love to see ours evolve, yours evolve, you know?
This has been this has been really a labor of love over the last 5 years just to get 18. And I spent 3 years in Austin, Texas, back and forth with Community First Village and Alan Graham. They have about 2,000 homes now in Austin. But the difference in Austin to Vero Beach is there's no zoning requirements in Austin.
Gotcha.
So it's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
So it's almost like they put it in like Okeechobee,
Right.
like in the middle of nowhere, or Yeehaw Junction.
Sure.
They have this city that they built just for people that are chronically homeless, that need to come off the street.
Sure.
And when I spent time with them, their CEO, Alan Graham, said to me, they said, Tony, we can't duplicate this anywhere in the country, so don't try to do it.
Wow.
And he said, Florida oranges don't grow in Idaho, and Idaho potatoes don't grow in Florida.
Okay, that was great advice.
So you have to look at your soil and look what's going to grow in your community.
Sure.
So we tried to get property all over Indian River County. We tried to buy packing houses. We tried to buy land. It just wasn't going to happen as quickly as we know that people need a safe place to be. So when this came available, it was an aha for us and for our board of directors. We came in, we purchased it cash. We know it was on the lagoon, and we found out that it had a failed septic system. So we spent $500,000 in 18 months of hooking up to public utilities in our community because we want to be good stewards to our community. So we took 18 units that were dumping into the lagoon for the last 70 years and cleaned it up.
You know, I have to say, I was privileged enough to have a tour of it, and let me just kind of give you my beautiful, freshly painted, bright colors, beautiful flowers, landscape. I was impressed that one of the first questions I had for you was, this is great, but it's Sebastian. And, you know, of course I live in Vero. So my thought was, if I worked in Vero and I lived at your village, how do I get there if I'm homeless? You know, so if we're starting out in the homeless process, I probably don't have a car. And so you actually have a vehicle that helps transport the village residents, to jobs, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, so there's anybody that lives there on site that comes and needs a place. We have parking for those individuals that have vehicles that need to be able to get around. But we also have a 12-passenger van for individuals that need to take the public bus system, that have been taking the public bus system, because the closest bus to our property is a mile away from our property. So to be able to walk, catch the bus, and the bus is not like a big city where it's running every 15 minutes.
Exactly.
So it's going to take people a while to get to those services that they need. So we want to be able to help people and help people quickly.
Right.
So we have our own system in place that can just help people.
Love that. You put some fun factor into it. I was really impressed with, I felt it was very consistent throughout the village that you were creating community.
Yes.
That you were creating spaces for residents to sit outside on a little porch, or you actually have a little community center where they can come in and chat, and you've made it where you've got, tables there and even a little place that they can go outside and
yeah, we have arcade games, we have a community table, we have community couches, televisions, we have a small miniature golf course, a little four-hole miniature golf course. Everything that we've done is to keep our hotel motel license. Like, we're not doing any programs there.
Right.
This is not a transitory facility where people, or long-term facility where people can stay. We're not doing AA meetings. We're not doing any of that stuff.
Mm-mm.
This is for people that are working, that have a job, that can need an affordable place to stay, and we can help provide that for them.
Right.
Whether it's a week, a month, 2 weeks, it's totally up to them.
Yeah, I love it. May I even add that these cottages have been decorated by people that are kind of partnering up with you at the Source.
Yeah, so we have amazing supporters from all over the country, and our supporters, when they came in and they saw what we purchased, they said, no, we got to clean this up. We got to put new paint in, and we got to put some new flooring in, and we just really got to spruce this thing up. So when people give us money and they sponsor a cottage, then we work with them so that they can come in and decorate it the way that they want it. They get to pick out furniture, they get to pick out, bedding, they get to pick out, paint colors, so that it's community again. And then they get to name that unit. And we're almost, I think we're about 1 or 2 left. So in the last, 18 months, there's been so many people that are just, see the need and want to step forward.
I gotta say, I won't mention any of your members' names, but I was able to meet one that was living at the Village, and it was a gentleman, and I said, I asked him what he enjoys about it, and we chit-chat a little bit, and then he said, I get to eat ice cream. And I went, ice cream? And he's like, yeah, I get to eat ice. And then as we chatted, and I realized if you're homeless, you can't. That's not a luxury you can have. You have no way to freeze it, nowhere to keep it. And I went, oh my goodness, just the simple thing of ice cream eating we take for granted. And he was so happy. He's like, I get to eat ice cream whenever I want.
Yeah, I mean, the sense of community that we have is pretty huge. And we're probably one of the most safest places to be out at our place. We have an on-site property manager that's there that manages the property. But the sense of community that's there, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's literally unbelievable.
It was amazing. It was so pristine. It was so beautiful. And, I was kind of questioning you, about the rules. And you were like, Cindy, they yes, they have to take care of the outside, but they want to. And it's like this joint effort to take care of what they have. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when you guys go on vacation and wherever you stay, whether you're staying at the Marriott, the Hilton, wherever you're going to stay, there's basic rules that they give you that of your unit, right? Yeah. But, it's the same thing with us. There's basic rules that you follow. What you do in your unit is between you and your family or whoever's there, who's ever renting that unit. And if you start to bring things out into the community, then we will address that when it comes into the community. But the people that have stepped forward and want to be the first people that are on that property are just unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy. Like, you can drive by now and you'll see Christmas lights. The entire village is lit up. It's pristine. I mean, it's unbelievable to see it.
And I had the pleasure of being able to, look at some of them, and I had the pleasure of seeing some of them kind of, before and after situation, and I just couldn't get over how pretty and neat and wonderful they were inside.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. We're putting new roofs on. We're putting gutters on. We're putting, we're painting everything. Yeah. We're pulling every resource that we can to be good stewards with the funding that people give us.
Yeah. Well, you guys were talking to Tony Zorba, the executive director of The Source. We are talking about the Village and homes for the holidays. Keep it up, Tony. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies, are you looking for a change but just don't know how to get there? Don't miss the Women's Life Mastery event, a roadmap for change to becoming your best self. 10 fabulous women sharing their expertise for real ways to positive change. This holiday season, invest in yourself and register today to discover and become your best self. Breakfast, lunch, swag, and more. The Women's Life Mastery event, Saturday, January 13th at Joy Farms in Vero Beach. Visit CIAcertified.com today for more details. CIAcertified.com.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's holiday sale time, so you can save up to 50% on selected groups of indoor and outdoor furniture from Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Windward, Capri, Seawinds, Universal, and lots more. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, patio groups, occasional chairs, bedroom sets, all on sale just in time to make Santa say ho, ho, ho. Also, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half off. And don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store just across the street from our main location for lots of great holiday bargains. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza next to Planet Fitness in Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day. Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine Furniture.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. We want to thank Dale Sorensen for making sure that we are always on air and always able to promote who's beautifying Vero Beach, like Tony Zorba. So if you're buying or selling a home, you can find them at 772-231-4712. You can also find them at SorensenRealEstate.com. Thank you, Dale Sorensen. And also we want to, and by the way, get your home for the holidays with Dale Sorensen. Also, Varietals and More always takes good care of us and our beverages for our guests. So be sure to see them. They've got tons of wonderful spirits for your holiday parties, for your get-togethers, for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, brunch, whatever you're doing. Varietals and More right there on Royal Palm Point. We're wrapping it up. We got about 2 minutes. And Tony, if Santa could bring you anything for the source, what would it be?
Cooperation.
Ooh.
We don't need money.
Yeah.
We don't need, things of that nature. We don't need things. We just need cooperation. Mm-hmm. We need people in this community that understand people and want to just love on people, because that's all it's about. It's about just helping people. Mm-hmm. Whether you're, staying down at Pocahontas Park, which allowed us to create the Community Works program, to clean up the park, to clean up this community, because we all have to have our hand in that process.
So speaking of that, people say it's not a hand, a
handout
or a hand up. So what is your take on that?
So we just, we believe at the source that we want to be in the middle of all of that. So we want to be a hand in model, where that if, the nonprofit sector has their hand in, if government has their hand in, if the business community has their hand in, and the population that you serve has their hand in, then the whole thing can start to work. And that's what we believe at our building, is that we're encouraging people every day, because God wants you to work. He doesn't want you to sit around and do nothing.
Right.
He wants you to give you talent. He gave you talents and abilities and wants you to prosper. That's what he gave you.
I love that. Before we go, you have lots of dignity programs that you've created there at the source. Do you want to run them down real fast?
Sure. We have Dignity Village. We have Dignity Bus. We have Dining with Dignity. We have Dignity Foods, which is our food trucks and catering program. We have Dignity Smiles, which we're blessed to have so many amazing dentists in our community to restore people's smiles. And it's just been amazing to be a part of. Well, thank you for restoring dignity to those in our community that really, really need it and deserve it. And thank you for supplying some homes for the holidays this year. We're trying. That's right. All right. Merry Christmas, guys. Love you.